Hey folks, this is Nico Winstead with Palisade Realty. I'm going to bring to you San Diego's most recent housing market update for July of 2021. In this video, we're going to discuss 5 key market indicators that professionals like myself and informed consumers tend to use in order to gauge where they're at in any given market cycle. The first indicator that we look at is median home sales price. And across San Diego County, if you have a single family home, median home sales price starting this summer was $851,000. That is up just shy of 30% from where we were at same time last year. Second indicator that we look at is the number of home sales. Again, we saw an increase as far as year-over-year comparison. We are up 76% from where we were at the same time last year, putting San Diego in a 1.6 months of unsold inventory, which is well into a seller's market. The third indicator that we look at is notice of defaults. This indicator's data has been skewed. The government essentially is continuing to regulate around foreclosures and around evictions. Now, what the data does tell us is that there are a significant number of landlords and homeowners that are still in what is known as serious delinquency, meaning that they are past 90 days on their mortgage, and in which case some plans are going to be maturing in August. The moratorium on evictions has apparently been going to be lifted in August, but again, that's gotten pushed back several times at this point. And so that indicator right there is something that professionals like myself and informed consumers are essentially looking at to see, hey, is there going to be enough inventory hitting the market in order for prices to adjust once these moratoriums and once this foreclosure and these forbearance plans have come essentially due. We don't know what that looks like yet. There are people that are on both sides essentially saying that yes, it will bring significant supply to the market. Other well-informed people are saying it's not going to be enough of a supply to adjust prices and to essentially dilute the inventory. So again, we'll continue to pay attention to that pretty heavily. The fourth indicator that we do look at though is the number of new home building permits that were pulled on an average within the last 6 months. And we saw an increase right there as far as year-over-year comparison of about a 48% year-over-year comparison, putting us at an 891 new home building permits. So again, we are seeing a lot of building activity, especially over the last 12 months, especially over the last 24 months. The likelihood is that we will continue to see it simply because construction costs at this point are starting to come back down. They were very, very high earlier this year, and we've started to see some adjustment as essentially markets start to reinvigorate themselves from the hibernation of the COVID shutdown. The fifth indicator that we look at is going to be interest rates. If somebody at the beginning of July was in a position where they have excellent credit, they're putting 20% down, they can expect to get something around 2.9% as far as an interest rate. So still below 3%, still very much all-time record lows. And again, that is what is driving a lot of people to the market, so that way they can secure something before those rates get higher, before the Fed start to notice inflation and using interest rates in order to combat that inflation. Now, all of this is really summed up within a couple of quick bullet points. Number one, there's still very significant demand in San Diego's housing market, even though prices are increasing and have been increasing. Number two, we want to keep an eye on any inventory that might come to the market once banks are able to essentially foreclose in their normal fashion, once landlords are able to evict in their normal fashion. And there's a couple of things within that that are a little bit of caveats. So again, we will continue to pay attention to that. But the third thing that's very important in this market is that if you're a seller in this market, I've had multiple phone calls like this already. Somebody has been considering selling, their home isn't in the best of shape. Right now is the best time for sellers that I've seen within the last 12 years. It's very, very competitive as far as buyers, and the simple reason is because there is not a lot to choose from. San Diego does not have a shortage of housing. San Diego has a shortage of houses that are for sale. And so what that means is that as a seller, if somebody has been considering selling, now is a great time to do so in order to actualize some equity or to be able to essentially part ways with something and get the most out of it. And then as well as buyers, it is very competitive. And so understanding and having a firm grasp on your highest and best offer is going to serve you. It's going to serve the team that's essentially helping you secure a property as well. So if you do have any questions, feel free to give me a call. You can find my information down in the link below. Again, this is Nico Winstead with Palisade Realty.